Told my family, but they just don't believe me. Now we see prophecy unfolding on their TV. Angels on them four corners like some ZZs. Niggas don't get right, we gon' leave him. This nigga vision clouded like he got cataracts. When that war come, Lord willing, we that battle axe. Riding with them North Stars like we a Cadillac. White man kingdom gon' fall like an avalanche. Northern lights fill my aura. These all getting hot, rock Sodom and Gomorrah. Waiting on YAHAWAH to get that order, so we can stone this so-called virgin daughter. We want war, you saw blood on the floor. Jacob in trouble, we gon' ride, that's the law. Remember Amalek splattered fragments of his skull. 25 generations that he gone.
Shalawam, shalawam, shalawam. Let's give all praises be to the Most High Yahweh. Once again, let's give all praises be to the Most High Yahweh, our Abba, and our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahawashi. The water for tuning in. Shalawam to all the Ox and the Ahchwaths out there. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Have a great little lesson today, as always. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And let's dive into these scriptures. Starting at Proverbs chapter 3, as always, the rewards of wisdom. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them upon thy neck, write them upon the table of thy heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High and man. Trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. The reason why this one is called the good, the bad, and the ugly, I just wanted to speak a few scriptures. Of course, we can go through the whole Bible, and it's a lot to speak about. But I just pulled out a few scriptures to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. So bear with me as I go through these scriptures. Let's jump right into it. Genesis. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning, chapter 1. Hopefully you can see it on the screen. Genesis chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 26. And it says, and Ahchyam said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all of the earth, and over every creepy thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Ahchyam created man in his own image. In the image of Ahchyam created he him, male and female created he them. And Ahchyam blessed them. And Ahchyam said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So this was a beautiful thing. We were created as human beings, or we were created as, let's not even say human beings yet, because I believe we were some type of spiritual being at this aspect right here before we got cast out the garden. So this was a good thing. You know, this was a beautiful thing. Ahchyam made us in his image. He gave us dominion over the whole earth, over every creepy thing, over the fish, over the cattle, over everything. So this is a good, beautiful thing. Let's jump to Genesis 2. Right? Genesis 2. And I'm going to jump down to, if you haven't read Genesis, please go back and read Genesis. I'm going to jump to 2 and 15. And Yahweh Allah took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Right? So he put him in there to be able to guard it, protect it, and work it. And Yahweh Allah commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. So he gets put in the garden, which is a good thing, right? These are all good things. He gives him a command and tell him, don't eat from the tree. You know, if you eat from that tree, you will die. So a few good things, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now let's jump over to Genesis 3, right? Here goes some ugly. Here goes some bad, I should say. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh Allah had made. And he said unto the woman, have Allah said, ye shall not eat of the tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Allah hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Now the Most High done told Adam, and evidently Adam relayed this message to Eve, that if you touch it or you eat it, you will die. Hasatan, the devil, comes along and say, you can eat it and you won't die. Well, we all know this story, right? That they did eat of it, which was a bad thing. So as we jump down, because I'm not going to read this whole thing, I'll jump down to 9 real quick. And it says, Yahweh Allah called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of that tree, whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman who thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of that tree, and I did eat. So he ended up eating from the tree just as well as the woman did. And this was a very bad thing. Very, very bad thing. This is what led to our demise as a people. And continually, even to this day, this evil or this bad seed that was planted inside of us is still here to this day. Right? So even after Genesis 3, we'll jump over to Genesis 6. We'll jump over to Genesis 6 and we'll see what happened, right? So I'm going to jump down to 5. Once again, if you haven't read Genesis, please go back and read the whole book, right? So you can get the complete understanding of what's going on. But, you know, for time's sake and for the lesson's sake, I'm just jumping to key points. Genesis 6 and 5. And Ahchyam saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. This was this seed, this bad, evil seed that was planted right from Genesis 3 when they ate from that tree. Ever since then, since they ate from that tree, that wickedness, that wicked seed was planted. And it has taken over men and women to the point to even right here in Genesis 6 and 5, he's saying that every imagination of the thoughts of their heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahweh that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creepy thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I made them. Now this is a bad thing that the Most High is saying against us. That he's upset that he made us upright and we have went the other way into wickedness. But as it says in verse 8, but Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just or righteous man, and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with the Most High Yahweh. Right? So Noah found grace, and we know from the story about the flood that Noah and his family, they found grace and they were in the Ark of the Covenant, which is a good thing, but it wasn't so much of a good thing because all of the other people of the earth were destroyed, because he said, I will destroy man whom I have created. So all of those other people were destroyed, which is a bad thing. Why? Because of this wicked seed that was planted from Genesis 3 that has taken over the imagination and the thoughts of man. Remember, this lesson is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's get into some more bad. Exodus chapter 9, and we'll start at verse 1. Now our people, the Israelites, are in captivity, all the way from Genesis to where Joseph went down into Egypt, or was sold down into Egypt, and then rose up to be right under the Pharaoh. And then the other children of Israel came down, his brothers and his father, Jacob, and they, lived there for a period of time until those people that was in rulership died off, and then our people became slaves. And now they have been in slavery for over 400 and something years. And here it is right here in Exodus 9, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, Then Yahweh said unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus saith Yahweh Allah of the Hebrews, Let my people go. So the Most High Yahweh is telling Moses to go tell Pharaoh to let my people go, that they may serve me. So the Most High is letting it be known that I want you guys to come out of this slavery and serve me now. Right? For if thou refuse to let them go and will hold them still, behold, the hand of Yahweh is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous mourning. So it's letting it be known that if you don't let my people go, I'm going to get up with you, right? So this is a bad thing for Egypt. Now, here it is. The people are being let go. Have been let go, right? They've been freed out of Egypt. And it says right here, 24:3, Exodus 24:3. And Moses came and told the people all the words of Yahweh and all the judgments. So this is after they've been led out of Egypt. They're in the wilderness now. The Most High is making this covenant with them, right? Which is, everybody knows, the old covenant, Mount Sinai. So this is what's going on now. And all the people answered with one voice and said, All the words which Yahweh have said we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of Yahweh and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings and oxen unto Yahweh. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in a basin, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Why? Because this is the blood covenant. And he took the book of the covenant, which is what you hold in your hand today. If you believe, you would say the Bible. This would be the book that you hold in your hand, the book of the covenant. This is why it says the Old Testament and the New Testament. Testament just means covenant. So if you have the Bible near you, next to you, or you hold it in your hand, that is the book of the covenant. And read it in the audience of all the people. And they said, all that Yahweh have said, we will do and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, Behold, the blood of the covenant, which Yahweh have made with you concerning all these words. So this is a blood covenant. And he has made this covenant with who? The children of Israel. Now, somebody might say, well, that's not such a bad thing. That was a good thing to go into covenant with the Most High Yahweh. Actually, it was a good thing. But here's where it gets tricky at. Boom, the golden calf. This is right after this. Right after this. Literally. Haven't even finished. Right? The golden calf. Everybody should know about this. So I'm going to start at Exodus chapter 32, verse 5. And it says, and when Aaron saw it, he built an altar. What did he saw? That golden calf that he built. He built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to Yahweh. And they rose up early on the morrow. Notice they didn't raise up in the night when the sun went down. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. And Yahweh said unto Moses, go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt. These are all the people that came out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They already corrupted themselves, and it ain't even been a year. It ain't even been 6 months. Moses is only on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights, and he couldn't even finish because the Most High just told him that what? Go down because them people have corrupted themselves. This is a very, very bad thing. Verse 8, they have turned aside quickly, like I just told you. It wasn't a long period of time. It wasn't a very long period of time. Days. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it. They're worshiping graven images. Just what the Most High told them, do not make in Exodus 20. Do not have any graven images, nor bow down to them. They're worshiping a molten calf. And have sacrificed thereunto and said, these be our gods. Man, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So they're giving this credit of bringing them people out of Egypt to this molten calf. They're taking the glory of Yahweh and giving it to a molten calf that they built. And they said, these are our gods. Now that's bad. That is so bad. Remember, this lesson is the good, the bad, the ugly. Oh, man. And Yahweh said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Man, you know them Israelites is stiff-necked. If any people on this earth is stiff-necked, it is Israelites. To the core, they are stiff-necked. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make thee a great nation. So the Most High Yahweh told Moses, I'll make you a great nation, and I'll kill all of them. Right? But we know the Most High had mercy. Moses went down there and got up with the children of Israel. Right? So in all this, what do we do? What do we do? The tablet is rewritten, right? Like I said, those first tablets he had to break because the children of Israel went off. So he had to come down the mountain, get up with them, basically killed a lot of them. And then he had to go back up to the Most High and redo all this all over again after he ended up getting up with the ones that were going off. So I'm going to jump to the book of Deuteronomy real quick. And I'm going to start at verse 12. This is the book of Deuteronomy. And I'm going to start at verse 12. And it says, and now, Israel, what doeth Yahweh thy Allah require of thee? So this is what's required of the Most High, Yahawah. But to fear Yahawah, let me highlight all this. Wait a minute. Oh, man. Okay. And now, Israel, what doeth Yahweh Allah require of thee? But to fear Yahweh thy Allah, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy Allah with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes which he commanded thee this day for thy good. So this is what the Most High commands us to do, and this is what he have given to the children of Israel. But we know right here when we jump to Deuteronomy 28, what happened? Once again. So this is where it's become all the blessings and the curses. I'll read verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice Yahweh thy Allah, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy Allah will set thee on high above all people of the earth, right? And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice Yahweh thy Allah. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. And it goes on and on and on about the blessings. But when we jump down to verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Allah, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. And it goes on and on about all of these curses. We know the children of Israel did not hearken and did not listen, which was a bad thing. And the classic down here will jump all the way down to 68. You guys know where I'm going. And it says, and Yahweh shall bring you into Egypt again, meaning into bondage, into slavery again, right? They were already free, but this is the Most High telling them that I will bring you back into bondage again. The house of bondage. That's what the Bible refers Egypt to, right? The house of bondage. If you don't believe me, let me get it. Because I don't want somebody to say, well, he just said that. No, let's read it, right? Right here, verse 2. I am Yahweh thy Allah, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is referred to as bondage. Okay? That's what Egypt is referred to. Bondage. And Yahweh shall bring thee into what? Bondage again, with what? Ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. You won't see your homeland ever again, which we have not. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies. So when you get off of the ships, you will be sold to your enemies as a slave man and a slave woman, and no man shall what? Redeem you or buy you, meaning to buy you back. No man has came to redeem us and buy us back for all of these thousands of generations. Somebody might say thousands. Like, we're only been in captivity for a couple 400, 500 years. No, it goes all the way back before the Atlantic trade slave. The Sub-Sahara, the Arabs, the Chinese, like everybody had the Israelites in slavery. So, like I said, for thousands of years, right? This is due to the curses that were put on us through the Most High Yahawah, because he said, if you don't hearken, that I will put all these curses on you, which he did, right? Now, let's get into some more bad and a little bit of this ugly. Let's go to our brother Job. Job was a righteous man. But in this, Job knew, let's jump all the way down to verse 19. In this, Job knew, one thing that Job knew and I liked about Job is that, and behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young man, and they are dead. And I only escaped alone to tell thee. Talking about Job's kids. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Yahawah gave, remember, who gave it? Yahawah gave it. Hold on, let me highlight this whole thing. This is one of the parts that I was like, it hit me to the core. After everything was going on, Job lost his children, his cattle. All these things were happening to him in one day. In one day. And he fell down. He said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. And then he said, right after that, Yahawah gave. So who gave it? Yahawah gave it. And Yahawah take it away. So he gives it and he take it away. And Job knew this, that whatever he had received prior, it was all given by the Most High Yahawah. And when he lost something, it was taken away by the Most High Yahawah. And after that he said, blessed, exalted be the name Yahawah. So even in all of these things that he going through, he lost his cattle, he lost pieces of his home or properties, he lost his children, his sons, his daughters. They all died, all in the same day. And in that day, with all of that happening, Job, all that ugliness that is happening, all of the bad that is happening, Job still fell on his knees and worshiped the Most High Yahawah and gave him glory. As he said, exalted be the name of Yahawah. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged Allah foolishly. So even in all of that happened to Job, he still didn't sin or talk crazy about the Most High foolishly. And all that ugliness and all of that evil and all of that wickedness that was happening, he still didn't sin. So we had to take that into consideration. And this is something that, a level that Job was on. That's why I like to go to Job sometime and use him, because he was on another level with his understanding of the Most High and the worship of the Most High and walking with the Most High. This is where we need to get to. And this is what Paul is kind of speaking about in 1 Corinthians, about the ugliness of our people not understanding and walking with the Most High in a spiritual aspect. This is exactly what Paul is speaking about. And I'm reading this in the NLT, New Living Translation. It says, dear brothers and sisters, when I was with you, I couldn't talk to you as I would to spiritual people. So these are not even spiritual people. I had to talk as though you belong to this world or as though you were infants in Christian life. I had to feed you with milk, not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger. And you still aren't ready. So imagine in this situation, if that was Job, like these people are, and that stuff happened to Job, and he was like these people are, that couldn't even handle the spiritual aspect of it. They were still on milk, right? That they wasn't getting that meat of the word. What do you think Job would have did when that stuff happened? I'm pretty sure he probably would have cursed the Most High. He wouldn't have been as strong as he was then. He wouldn't have fell down and gave him glory. Because even Paul is getting on him right here. For you are still controlled by your sinful nature. You are jealous. See, even Paul is getting on him. You are jealous of one another and quarrel with each other. Doesn't that prove you are controlled by your sinful nature? Aren't you living like the people of the world? One of us, Salakia, when one of you says, I am followers of Paul, and others say, I follow Apollos, aren't you acting just like the people of the world? After all, who is Apollos? Who is Paul? We are only Elohim's servants through whom you believe the good news. Each of us did the work, and the Master gave us. I planted the seed in your hearts, and Apollo watered it, but it is the Most High who made it grow. It's not important who does the planting or who does the watering. What's important is that the Most High makes the seed grow. The one who plants and the one who waters work together with the same purpose, and both will be rewarded for their own hard work. For we are both Elohim's workers, and you are Elohim's field. You are Elohim's building. Because of Elohim's grace to me, I have laid the foundation like an expert builder. Now others are building on it, but whoever is building on this foundation must be careful, for no one can lay any foundation other than the one we already have, with YAHAWAH HaMashiach. Anyone who builds on that foundation may use a variety of materials, gold, silver, jewels, wood, hay, or straw. But on the judgment day, fire will reveal what kind of work each builder has done. The fire will show if a person's work has any value. If the work survives, the builder will receive a reward. But if the work is burned up, the builder will suffer great loss. The builder will be saved, but like someone barely escaping through a wall of flames, don't you realize that all of you together are the temple of Allah, and that the Spirit of Allah lives within you? And this is what you have to realize. So this is what Paul is basically saying all the way from the beginning, is these people wasn't spiritual, that they were still fleshly or carnal. They were still living as people live in the world, which is an ugly thing. It's an ugly thing. Why? Because they lacked and didn't have any discernment, right? James speaks about it as like a man looking into the mirror, and then when he leaves off from the mirror, he forgets who he is. Let me get one more and I'll get ready to close out. Hopefully you can see this. Revelation chapter 3. We'll go to the classic. For those who have an ear to hear, let them hear. And I'm going to jump down. You know where I'm going. Anyone with ears to hear must listen to the Rakah, or the Spirit, understand what he is saying. And then it says, write this letter to the Malach of the church of Laodicea. This is the message from the one who is in the YAHAWAH, or Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of Elohim's new creation. I know all the things you do, that you are neither hot nor cold. I wish that you were one or the other. But since you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth, vomit you out. You say, I am rich, I have everything I want, I don't need a thing. Don't a lot of people in this world say that? This is the ugly part of people that think that they have everything that they need in life. They say, I'm rich, I got plenty of money, I got that bag, I don't need nothing. I don't need you, definitely, and I don't need nothing. Right? Pride. They so high on the hog, even though pride wasn't made for man. So it says, you say, I am rich, I have everything I want, I don't need a thing. And you don't realize that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. And this is what some people don't realize. This is the ugly part of it. People do not realize this within the world. What is going to happen and what's coming and the things that are prophesied. You think because your riches or your dollars or your money is going to save you. But as we know within the scriptures, as it says, you don't realize that you are wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. This is an ugly, filthy, dirty thing. Hopefully you can see this. Who is it speaking about? It's speaking about the lukewarm, neither hot nor cold. So, I advise you to buy gold from me. You hear what he's saying? Buy the gold from him that you may be tried in the fire. So I advise you to buy gold from me. Gold that has been what? Purified by the fire. That's what the Most High does. That's what Yahawah does. He purifies you. Doesn't it say in John 15:3 that the word is what cleanses you? He purifies you. He cleanses you. Then you will be what? Rich. How will you be rich? Towards the kingdom. Also buy white garments for me, so you will not be ashamed by your nakedness, and anointment for your eyes, so you will be able to see. I correct and discipline everyone I love, so be vigilant and turn from your indifference. Look, I stand at the door and knock. If you hear my voice and open the door, I will come in and we will share a meal together as friends. Those who are victorious will sit with me on my throne, just as I was victorious and sat with my Father on his throne. Who is his Father? Yahawah. Anyone with ears to hear must listen to the Rakah, or the Spirit, and understand what he is saying to the assembly, to the body, to Israel. Hopefully you get the understanding, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like I say, hopefully you was edified. We give all praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Most High Yahawah. Like I say, hopefully this was edifying, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's so many more scriptures, but like I say, I didn't want to make this a 4-hour video. So I just hit a couple key points so you can see some things that were good, some things that were bad, and some things that are ugly. And with that, we're going to get out of here. We say Shalawam, Kwam Yasharallah, and giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High YAHAWAH. Shalawam.